Do you remember this pop culture moment?
All the emphasis was put on me, not on Justin. It was an accident.
Welcome to Pop Culture Paint Lessons, where I paint iconic moments in pop culture history and tell you all the drama. In 2004, Janet Jackson had one of the most scandalous wardrobe malfunctions of all time, known as NippleGate. I say wardrobe malfunction, but it was caused by Justin Timberlake, but let's get into it. Janet Jackson, the youngest sibling of the Jackson family, is a singer, dancer, and actress known for her innovative, socially conscious, and provocative records. In 1982, she released her self-titled debut album, Janet Jackson, which peaked at number 63 on the Billboard 200, and Janet became the highest-ranking female vocalist on Billboard's year-end Black Album Artists. Her debut album and her second album, Dream Street, were released under her father's control, who famously forced his children to rehearse and perform, or they would be punished physically. Janet quoted, "I just wanted to get out of the house, get out from under my father, which was one of the most difficult things I had to do." In 1986, Janet released her third album, Control, which was a monumental success. The album shot up to number 1 on the Billboard 200 and has been certified 5 times platinum since its release. The album is centered around Janet shaking off feelings of being the shadow child in the Jackson family and finally growing into her own after separating from her father's control. Her music and dancing became a catalyst in the growth of MTV as a network, and in turn she rose to prominence while breaking gender and racial barriers. Janet has sold over 100 million records worldwide, making her one of the best-selling artists of all time, and the world record holder for the most consecutive top 10 Billboard Hot 100 singles with 18. In 1997, she released her album The Velvet Rope, which is regarded as one of her most daring, elaborate, and accomplished albums ever. Banking on the success of the album, Janet embarked on the Velvet Rope tour and enlisted up-and-coming boy band NSYNC to open for her. NSYNC consists of members Justin Timberlake, JC Chasez, Joey Fatone, Lance Bass, and Chris Kirkpatrick. The band had been gaining significant popularity in Europe, but wasn't quite taking off in the US yet. But now that the Queen Janet herself was taking them under her wing, that was all about to change. After the tour, the band exploded and Justin Timberlake became a heartthrob that every teenage girl and gay boy had posters on their wall of. During this time, Justin began publicly dating Britney Spears, and I can't even get into that because I'm gonna make a whole paint lesson dedicated to their messy relationship. In 2001, Justin paid tribute to Janet on stage during her MTV Icon special by interrupting Chris to make a comment about how fine she is.
Janet took us with her on the Velvet Rope tour and taught us what being professional is all about.
Yeah, like how to be fine.
And after he and Britney's very public split up in 2002, rumors began to swirl that Janet and Justin were seen kissing in front of everybody at Missy Elliott's birthday party. Janet's future husband, Jermaine Dupri, was named as one of the eyewitnesses who spotted them grinding at an LA nightclub. This spread around tabloids until Janet allegedly dumped Justin after a steamy month-long fling. The rumors went unverified, and Janet would then be announced as a feature on Justin's debut solo album, Justified. Janet's breathy, sensual vocals are featured on the song And She Said Take Me Now, and was perfectly timed with all of the tabloid buzz. All of this hype definitely helped them both sell albums and tour tickets, with Janet on her All For You tour and Justin on the Justified and Stripped tour, a co-headlining tour with Christina Aguilera with opening act The Black Eyed Peas. Iconic. Janet was originally selected to perform the halftime show at Super Bowl 36 in February of 2002, but NFL officials decided to have U2 perform instead after seeing their 9/11 tribute concert in New York City. So, in December of 2003, the NFL chose Janet to perform at the Super Bowl 38 halftime show with Nelly and Diddy as guests, and with a surprise performance from Justin Timberlake. Everyone knew that there was a surprise guest, and Janet's choreographer, Gil Doldelau, teased to MTV News that there would be some seriously shocking moments. On February 1st, 2004, aka the fateful night of the infamous performance, the game started with Beyoncé performing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see?
I'm assuming some football happened, but that's not why we're here today. Jessica Simpson announces the start of the halftime show, and 2 university marching bands kick it off before Janet appears.
Houston! Choose to
Janet opens up performing her smash hit All For You and absolutely crushes the choreo. Diddy emerges from the fog and performs Bad Boy for Life, and Nelly comes out and performs Hot in Here, and then Diddy performed More Money, Mo Problems. After this, Kid Rock emerges from a third stage and performs Ba with the ba, de bangy bang diggy diggy. and cowboy while wearing a sleeveless shirt wrapped in an American flag, and this is important for later because this stirred up a lot of controversy. Janet finally returns to the stage to perform Rhythm Nation and performs the choreography from the song's music video. At the end of the song, the surprise guest Justin Timberlake joins Janet on the stage to perform his hit Rock Your Body. This song was absolutely massive at the time, so I get the appeal. The duo bumped and grinded on stage, definitely teasing their previous possible alleged fling.
Said, come on and dance with me.
During the famous last line of the song, he ripped the cup of Janet's bustier, fully exposing her and a piercing with a sun-shaped shield over it to over 115 million viewers.
By the end of this song.
She was only exposed for 9/16 of a second before she rushed to cover herself up, and Justin stood there with the red lace in his left hand. Janet was seen backstage crying, covered by a blanket, when she immediately fled back to Los Angeles before the game was even over. Justin claims to have been apologizing and trying to comfort her, but cameras caught him acting swaggy afterwards, claiming, "We love to give y'all something to talk about."
We love giving y'all something to talk about.
The world anxiously awaited a statement from Janet's spokesperson, who explained that the rehearsed move was supposed to be Justin ripping the bustier to expose the red lace underneath, but the red lace tore away with the outer piece. The leather corset was designed by Alexander McQueen, and honestly, Janet said she couldn't blame him for making it unrippable. The corset was taken to a costume designer who custom cut it out so that way it could tear away, but the red lace bra underneath was not supposed to tear away. MTV, who produced the halftime show, immediately put out a statement that they had no idea that this was supposed to happen and it was not rehearsed at all. We all know that this is false because Justin, who is naturally right-handed, had to rehearse this to flawlessly pull the bustier off with his left hand. Over 540,000 people filed complaints with the FCC, and they fined CBS a record $550,000 for the incident. There were also thousands of complaints made about Kid Rock wearing the American flag and throwing it into the crowd. Even a US senator complained that Kid Rock's outfit was a desecration of the American flag. CBS forced Janet to release an apology video explaining that it was not rehearsed, even though it was. This apology wasn't good enough for Les Moonves, CEO of CBS, now Viacom, as he blacklisted Janet's music and videos from MTV, VH1, and all of their properties, including radio broadcasts. That may not seem like a big deal, but there was no streaming, and this was the only way to get new music in front of anybody. Janet was supposed to present at the Grammys the following week, but it was being televised by CBS, so her invitation was withdrawn because of the incident, but Justin was still able to attend. A biopic was being made about Janet's life, and it was canceled because of the congressional hearing about her indecency on TV. Janet had to step down from movie roles, skip award shows, and had decreased album sales, all because she was blacklisted, while Justin boasted about the event. She was being blamed left and right for exposing herself, but if you watch the video back, she didn't do it at all. 1/3 of the articles published at the time did not even mention Justin at all, and over a half only mention him in passing. It is also very important to note the political climate at the time of NippleGate, which is also how it got its name. 2004 was an election year, and many people speculated that this was used as a diversion from some of the politics in the world as it happened. George Bush was up for re-election and had just led the country to war with Iraq the previous year, so everyone clung to this moment because it gave them something else to talk about. NippleGate was so impactful and talked about that one of the creators of YouTube cited it as a main inspiration for a video-based search engine. So many people were looking to rewatch the moment, and there was no way to watch it online, so YouTube was created in 2005. Soap operas that could show male rear nudity began editing it out after this incident, which angered a lot of middle-aged daytime soap opera watching housewives. The absolute outrage over this incident led to the FCC filing a petition and allowing them to censor a lot more on television and radio than they could previously. Could this incident have been a scapegoat to further use the media as a tool for propaganda? The Super Bowl halftime show overshadowed Janet's artistry and impact as the world and misogynistic media blamed her while Justin Timberlake got away unscathed. And none of this would have happened if Justin Timberlake didn't rip Janet Jackson's top open.